You already know your daily number: 6 calls, 1 presentation, 1 proposal. You wrote it down, you understood the math, and then Monday came and you made 3 calls instead of 6. Tuesday was slow, so you told yourself you'd catch up later. Wednesday, you got distracted. Thursday, the panic set in. Friday, you worked hard for a few hours and then stopped. And Sunday night, lying there, you told yourself the same thing you told yourself last week. Next week, I'll work twice as hard, but here's the truth nobody in sales wants to hear. Next week will look exactly like this week. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't have talent, but because you haven't fixed the real problem yet. And today, we fix it. Let me be direct about something first. Missing quota is rarely a talent problem. The sales world is full of talented people who never hit their numbers consistently. And it's full of average people, ordinary people, who hit their targets month after month, year after year. The difference is almost never skill. It is almost always consistency. And consistency is not a personality trait you either have or you don't. It is a system, a set of daily structures and habits that make the right behavior automatic, regardless of how you feel that morning. The reason most salespeople miss quota is not that they don't know what to do. They know exactly what to do. They just don't do it every single day. And the gap between knowing and doing is where quota lives. Let me walk you through the trap that catches almost every salesperson at some point in their career. It starts Monday morning. You come in with good intentions, but the inbox needs attention. There's a meeting. A colleague wants to talk. The CRM needs updating. And before you know it, it's 11 a.m. and you haven't made a single call. You tell yourself you'll catch up in the afternoon. The afternoon comes. A few calls. Not the 6 you needed, maybe 3. Tuesday follows the same pattern. Wednesday, you're starting to feel the gap. Thursday, the panic arrives. Now you're making calls, but you're desperate, and prospects can hear desperation. Friday, you push hard for a few hours. You get a couple of conversations. Nothing closes. You pack up and tell yourself next week. But here is what's actually happening underneath that cycle. Every day you miss your number. You don't just fall behind by one day. You fall behind by the compounding effect of momentum lost. Because sales momentum is real. When you're making calls daily, you get sharper. Your opening gets tighter. Your objection handling gets faster. Your confidence grows. When you break the streak, even for 2 days, you lose that edge. And the calls on Thursday don't feel like the calls you were making last Tuesday. They feel harder, colder, more uncertain. The inconsistency doesn't just cost you the missed calls. It costs you the quality of every call that comes after. So why do salespeople fall into this trap even when they know better? 3 reasons. First, call reluctance. Most salespeople, even experienced ones, experience some level of resistance before picking up the phone. Not fear, exactly. More like friction. The same friction you feel before going to the gym. You know you should go. You know you'll feel better after. But in the moment, the couch feels very reasonable. Call reluctance is that couch. And if you don't have a system that gets you past it, it wins every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Second, outcome obsession. When salespeople are behind on their numbers, they start focusing entirely on closing. Every call becomes high stakes, and high stakes creates pressure, and pressure makes you worse on the phone. The obsession with the outcome, the closed deal, actually reduces the quality of the activity that produces the outcome. This is the trap that Thursday and Friday calls fall into every single week. Third, no external accountability. Sales is one of the loneliest professional environments that exists. You are often on your own, making calls, sending emails, running presentations. Without someone checking in on your daily activity, it is entirely possible to look busy all day and accomplish almost nothing that moves the needle. And most sales environments only check results, not activity, which means you can hide in the gap between activity and outcome for weeks before anyone notices. Here is how you fix all three of these permanently. For call reluctance, use a startup ritual, not a motivational video, not a pump-up playlist, a ritual. Something small and specific that signals to your brain, it is time to work. It might be making your coffee before you sit down, reviewing your call list for 5 minutes before you dial, reading one line from a sales book. Whatever it is, do it the same way every single morning. The ritual becomes the trigger, and the trigger removes the friction because you're not deciding whether to make calls. You're just doing the next step in a sequence you've already decided on. For outcome obsession, go back to the activity number. When you find yourself spiraling about closed deals and pipeline and quota, stop, open your tracker, ask one question. Did I make my 6 calls today? Yes, then you did your job. The outcome will follow. No, then stop thinking about the outcome and go make the calls. The activity number is your anchor. It brings you back from outcome anxiety to controllable action every single time. For accountability, build your own system. Don't wait for your manager to check your activity. Build a daily check-in for yourself. End of every working day, 5 minutes, calls made, conversations had, presentations run, proposals sent. Write it down, not in your head, on paper or in a tracker. There is something about writing the number down that makes it real in a way that thinking about it never does. If the number is good, you finish the day with momentum. If the number is low, you know exactly what tomorrow needs to look like. No surprises, no Sunday night anxiety, just clarity every single day. Let me give you one more thing that changed how I think about consistency in sales. Stop measuring your performance week by week. Start measuring it day by day. A bad week is 5 bad days compounded. A good week is 5 good days compounded. But you can never fix a week on Thursday. You can only fix today. The question is never, how do I have a better week? The question is always, did I hit my number today? Yes or no? That's it. One question, one answer, every day. The salespeople who ask that question consistently and answer it honestly never have bad months. They might have bad days. Everyone does. But bad days don't compound into bad months when you correct them immediately. Only ignored bad days do that. Missing quota is not a talent problem. It is not a market problem. It is not a product problem. It is almost always a consistency problem, hiding underneath excuses that feel very reasonable in the moment. The fix is not to work harder. The fix is to build the system that makes consistent daily action automatic. Startup ritual, activity anchor, daily self-check. 3 things applied every day. That is the difference between the rep who always seems to be catching up and the one who always seems to be ahead. Subscribe to this channel and every week you get one more piece of that system. Practical, tested, from real time in the field. The work starts here. Let's go.